guys, welcome back to the MYM Bus Stage at MCM London. And look who it is. We have Rebecca Breed.
Hey.
It is lovely to have you here. And I know that you obviously travel around quite a bit. You're back now traveling with your husband, Luke Mitchell. Do you guys do many cons together?
Every con I've done, we've done together, which is good. You know, you get to travel, you get to see the sights, and, you know, it's good. He's in the sci-fi world, I'm a crazy vampire, so it's good. We kind of complement each other. Yeah, but it's really fun, and it's good because you understand what each other are doing that day, and you're both as exhausted as each other that night, and you just, yeah, it is fun. We're very lucky to be able to do it together. I don't think there are a lot of couples that both get to go to work and do this, you know?
Sure.
It's not like I'm waiting back at the room going like, oh, Luke's doing stuff, I'm bored,
What's
you know?
he doing?
Yeah, we both get to
We're
work.
on dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's not the first time that you guys worked together, because obviously you met on Home and Away. And
Well, kind of, yeah.
Did you meet before that?
Yeah, we met at funnily enough, he did a show called H2O, I did a show called Bluewater High, and so we had mutual friends. So they had a housewarming party, so I went to the party and he was living with those people. So I met him there and then turned up to work on Monday and he was the new boy. So I was like, what? You're my party flirt. Now you're at work with me for the next 3.5 years. So
he was stalking you.
Yeah, heavily stalking me, like got a contract on Home and Away to stalk me, kind of stalking.
Wow, that's taking it far.
Yeah, but it was one of those just meant to be kind of things. But yeah, it worked out, which is good. Not a typical showmance.
No.
Yeah.
And on the show, you play a couple as well for a bit. So
For a bit, yeah.
What was that like then, being a couple on screen and off?
You know, it was actually a real challenge because our characters had a very tumultuous time together, so it's hard to not let that, because you live that experience when you're in character, so it's hard not to let that come, you know, like overflow into your lives. So we'd have this really stressful day at work together where we're like having a big fight and yelling at each other or something's going down, and then you like go home that night eating Thai or whatever you're doing, just going like, that was heavy. Like, how do you like, you know, come down from that? And it's also good to have, you know, it's good fun because it, you know, you trust each other so well, you know each other so well, you can really play in that world together. But at the same time, it's nice to kind of him go have a day, I'll go have a day, and you get to go home to each other and go, well, how was your day? And you have something to talk about as well, you know. So it's good, but it's not something I would want to do all the time. But yeah, it was a fun challenge.
Have you talked about working together again in anything?
He's on a show at the moment called Blind Spot, and I'm kind of going, yeah, I need to get on that. That looks fun.
I love that show.
Yeah. I know. So I'm like, we need to talk to Martin, and I don't know, maybe I can be some miniature human spy. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if the opportunity came up, there was a film that we were going to do together. You know, there's stuff that you're like, would that be good? Or would it just be better for you go do that? That's your thing, and I'll go do this. This is my thing, and you know, you can support each other in that. You know.
Have you watched each other's shows?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I watch him, and he. Yeah, we try and watch each other's stuff, and I don't want to know a lot about what he's doing. Like, he's doing his show, that's great. I'll like run lines with him or whatever. But I'm not like the girl who's on set every day watching him going, I want to know everything, because I want to be able to sit back and watch it as a product, as a whole. Like, I want to watch it like everyone else is watching it and have the full experience and not be kind of thrown by, I remember that day on set this happened, or this was all in the script but they had to cut that because the episode ran over time, and so now you feel that missing. You know, if you just watch it without knowing any of that context, you can just see it as an audience like everyone else. And
you want to be the fan.
Yeah, and I can bring that perspective, because he'll be like, we shot so much more of that fight scene and it didn't make it in, so he's disappointed, and he's like, the episode could have been so much better. But for me to just watch it as it is, I'm like, I didn't even know that was supposed to be in there. As an audience, I don't feel that missing, so I can bring him perspective and be like, no, like, it's to the person who's just watching it for the final product, it's awesome, you know, but you don't get caught up in all the politics of what the day on set was like or all that kind of stuff. And also I get to see him just in all his glory doing that, you know, so yeah, it's good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And everyone here, I'm sure, has heard of Neighbours, Home and Away, watched it at some point, run
Yeah.
home from school to get the next episode.
Channel 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to me, I was wondering if, as an Australian actor, is it kind of a rite of passage to be on one of those soaps? Because everyone
Yeah.
seems to go through those.
Yeah, I think so, because we're a very small little industry. There's not a lot going on there, so there's not a lot of options to work on. So if you want to step on set at all and get in front of a camera and feel what that's like, it's kind of one of the only two places that you're likely to get a job, So I think that's part of it, but also that everyone calls it a great training ground, and it is. You're working so fast and there's so much content, and you get to be in front of camera so much. So not only do you get to work on your acting and creative skills, but you get to work on your practical skills, like finding your light and finding your mark and continuity and all those kind of things that they don't really teach you in acting school,
Yeah.
So it is it is a rite of passage, I think. And I'm, proud to have been a part of it. So many greats have gone through that school, essentially.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a great time in my life. I met my husband. We had 3.5 years where it was my job to sit on the beach. I remember I had a scene with,
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Lincoln Lewis or Lincoln Younes, but I had like a romantic thing with both of them. But our characters were sitting on the beach having a picnic date, but my day at work was literally sitting on the beach eating food, and then this like whales went past.
Wow.
Like just breaching, and we're like, I'm at work, like I'm getting paid to do this. I'm on the beach eating food and there's whales going past. I'm just sitting here in the sun. Like, it was an amazing, amazing experience. So,
Everyone wants that job now.
Yeah. Go on.
And in that, obviously in Summer Bay, and you're on the beach, you're surfing, and you also surf, I think, in Blue Water High. So are you a good surfer?
Well, funnily enough, I have an older brother who's a big surfer, so he would drag me to the beach all the time and get me on a board and show me how to do everything. So I was very much in my element, but unfortunately, because of insurance reasons, I couldn't actually surf on the show. They always cut to your double. But it was good because I felt very natural out on the board, and you're paddling, and you get to the point where you paddle onto a wave and you get to push up as though you're about to pop up and surf, but yeah, then they cut to the double. But I mean, yeah, it was my world. It's my, I was in my element doing it. So it was fun. But I mean, yeah, it was kind of strange to go from surfing show to surfing show to surfing show. I was like, do I just scream surfer girl? I didn't really know that I did that, but it's just...
It's the tan and the...
Yeah, maybe it's the tan, I don't know.
Look good
but
wet.
Yeah, yeah. But I did grow up by the beach, so it was my world, It's very easy.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the things I was interested to hear is while you were still in Australia, you actually filmed a Bollywood film. Do you remember much about doing that and doing the moves? That must have been a very different set.
Yeah, I lived in India for 2 months and did that. That was, that was so much fun. It was cool. It was kind of like a hybrid Bollywood. Because it told a very serious, true story.
Yeah, about
but
a runner,
it had the sprinklings of Bollywood in there. But that was an incredible experience. And I love, dancing and doing the whole thing. So that again was just easy fun for me, That was an awesome experience. Yeah.
And we have to talk about the originals because we're at Comic-Con, and I'm sure that you guys are fans of the originals.
Yeah.
Aurora, are we going to see her again?
Well, little spoiler, I was supposed to have done some work on season 4 because what happened was Aurora was meant to kind of be the big bad guy for season 3, but then I got a pilot for NBC, so I went and shot that instead. So they had to kind of we shot an alternate ending for episode 19 where I get like tranquilized and put in a box and sent to the bottom of the ocean. But it wasn't supposed to be the case. I was supposed to come back and get the Michelsons for the final episode, but I was off shooting something else. So they had to kind of put me on ice, essentially. So I'm under the ocean still. And then in season 4, they're calling me again going, hey, we want you for this storyline. We want to like bring Aurora back from the ocean and cause havoc again. And kind of fortunately, because I was working, but unfortunately for Aurora, I didn't get to go back because I was doing a film in Australia. So it's always scheduling conflicts, what you see on TV isn't always their first case scenario of what the writers wanted. It's like comes down to the actors' availability. So they definitely wanted me back for season 4, but I wasn't available to do it. So technically Aurora is still alive and still under the ocean.
Yeah.
In her box. So I think there's a high likelihood that they'd want me back for season 5, which they renewed. And
Yeah,
I was so surprised, honestly. I thought the show was done because I thought the boys were finished. I thought they wanted to go and do other things, but obviously they're still enjoying themselves, so they're back again. Some more mayhem.
Yeah.
So I think they're still writing and figuring out what they want to do for season 5. But if I'm available, I will love to bring Aurora back from... She's not dead.
No, she's
I don't know if
submerged.
Yeah, she's submerged. She's submerged. I'm curious as to whether or not she's going to find her brother and bring him back with her. I don't know. Who knows? But
I think definitely if Tristan's down there somewhere, she's going to find him.
Well, exactly. They have that weird relationship. So they'll probably find each other and be weird. Yeah.
Well, speaking of relationships on the show, Klaus and Aurora, did you ship them? Clarora?
No, I did. I really did, because from my perspective, from Aurora's perspective, he was her first love, her true love. So I have to ship them. And I know what that's like, to have the person who you think is your one and only. Yeah. And she's a little crazy.
Just a little.
Just a little, unhinged. So to her, even though he'd moved on and he'd lived all this life, she was kind of trapped in this kind of delusion that, she hadn't, I guess she'd been with other people over the 1,000 years, but there's nothing like that first love. So I think she was really drawn back into that. And I think if things hadn't got so... I believed in their relationship and I believed in their love. Things got complicated because of Elijah and, him putting the compulsion over them, and stuff just got so messy. I think it's too much water under the bridge. I don't think you can go back. And they've tried to kill each other about 55 times.
Yeah,
so
there's that little thing.
I don't know if, I think the trust is broken, and once the trust is broken... I think that's it. But I think my favourite episode to shoot was episode 19 of season 3, where she truly, I think, had broken the spell of her love for Klaus. I think because she has him up in the shackles, and she has that line, which is my favourite line. It was she leans into him and she says, if I kissed you now, or something like that. Would you love me, or do you love me, or something like that. She's like, would you feel something if I kissed you now? And he's like, yes, I would, because he's trying to get out of trouble. And she's like, I wouldn't. And she just kind of whatever, man, goes to kill him. So I think that was really fun, because she was under his power the whole time I was on the show. And that last episode, she wasn't under his spell anymore. She'd come out of it, and that was there was just nothing in her way by that point. She was ultimately powerful, kind of Aurora. And that was really fun.
She also drinks the blood in that episode.
Oh, yeah, so that's still in her system.
Right. So did you have any idea how that was supposed to affect Aurora?
Yeah, well, the way it was supposed to happen. So Andy Lees, who played, I've forgotten his character name. Tristan. Wait, which one? Lucian, that's right. Thank you. So Lucian came back and was the big bad guy, but I think originally that was supposed to be him and Aurora together. So that just would have been, whatever happened to Lucian probably would have happened to Aurora. So I think she would have eventually died. Yeah. So it's kind of a good thing that, maybe not. You just never know what they've got planned. But so technically she's still got that in her system, and she is at the bottom of the ocean. So maybe she's still going to come back all powerful and rain more havoc. I kind of have this hope that she's gone to therapy and she comes back really strangely normal. I think that would be more entertaining. Because it's do you trust her? Do you not? Could she really be normal again? If she was really Klaus, I understand where you're coming from, this really enlightened being. I think that would be really strange, because it'd be when's she going to turn? When's she going to turn and stab him in the back again, Yeah. But I don't know. Well, who knows what they've got planned. So
I mean, that's the thing, she does have so many facets, and one of the things that was interesting is she is 1,000 years old, but she does have that childlike sort of part of her. Was that the writers bringing that part in, or was that your kind of creative decision?
I'll give the writers so much credit for giving me freedom, but I honestly think that was kind of me. And I think it was just once I got into the character, I realized that she never got over her mother dying in childbirth and her dad kind of blaming her. And I think when you're so wounded as a child, you kind of stay in that childlike state. And it made it so, like, she threw tantrums if she didn't get her way. She was very much like a toddler, just an all-powerful 1,000-year-old toddler. Like, you know, but because she was crazy, it gave me so much freedom, because something that you would typically cry at, she would laugh at, and then something that you're supposed to laugh at, she would cry at and, you know, throw a tantrum and stamp her foot. And when she got her way, she'd like giggle and like skip off down an alleyway, you know. Or, you know, so she was very childish, but I think that made her more menacing and more dangerous, because she didn't have this adult-like rationale about what she shouldn't do, or what life is and what it's not. You know, it was just like, I want to get my way, and I can do anything or get away with anything. That the boundaries of being an adult didn't apply to her, you know. But that made her really, really fun and really dangerous, I think, because you can't reason with a 3-year-old, but give them ultimate power. It's even more kind of terrifying. But that made her the funnest character I've ever played, because of things like that. You know, I would kill someone, and like I wouldn't do this in real life, but like, you know, vampire, you'd like, you know, drink their blood, and then you'd like giggle and skip off, and you know, like just be really unhinged. So unhinged. It was so fun though, because in character, I didn't even know what I would do some of the time. I'd do something and be like, wow, did I just do that? But she just gives you so much freedom to play, which is a real gift, because a lot of the time you don't, you know, you're playing the college student or the love interest, and you don't have you need to fulfill the purpose of the character. You know, it doesn't give you a whole lot of room to be creative. So with her, I got to kind of do or be whatever I wanted, which was great.
Well, you definitely made it your own. She's fantastic.
Thank you.
And what can we see you in next?
So I have a film coming out in August, September. So Ben Elton, British comedian, author, director, writer, everything. Wears many hats. Yes, he's brilliant. We just worked together and did a film in Australia last year, so that's coming out. And I think August, September, it'll come out here.
Called Three Summers.
Three Summers. Go see it.
And
it's
do you
really
get
fun.
to exercise your pipes in that? Because you're a singer, right?
Well, yeah, I'm a kind of singer for fun, so that was good. I get to play an Australian-born of Irish parents who plays in an Irish cover band, and so I had to learn to play the fiddle, and I had to learn some Irish dance, and I get to sing and lead the band. Yeah, it was so much fun, and a dream come true to be able to be musical in a film, and that was just heaven. So
becoming an
I'm really excited
yourself.
about that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. It was
My
great
pleasure.
to have you here.
Yeah,
Everybody,
thanks, guys.
please give a massive round of applause.